Okay, so what's Bob Peters been doing in the last 10 years? Well, I'll tell you what I've been doing in the last 10 years. I've been doing television and some radio. I'm on 1410 to Q every Friday with my friend James Floyd and Keith Oliver. Keith is United States Marine. He's with the Combat Veterans Association. And I'm proud to say that they made me an an affiliate member for what we've done over the years. I guess what I've done over the years for promoting veterans and veterans causes. We've raised a lot of money for a lot of different things. I worked with USA Cares, I work with SOS, I work with Legions, you name it, we work with them. And a couple articles were put out about me about being a lobbyist for veterans. That's what I consider myself, really. I am a lobbyist for veterans. I'm coming to you from the Eagles, Area 4273, which is a fantastic place. This set, we'll talk about this set at the end, but they've welcomed me in here. They do an awful lot for veterans. They raise money for Habitat for Humanity, USO. I could go on for another hour talking about everything they've done here. They are not a veterans organization. However, they do support veterans. They are people helping people. And I'm very proud to be a member of this organization and part of and the chairman of the Veterans Committee. We film a lot of our YouTube shows out of here. This is home now. But anyway, I did a TV show called Salute. It's Salute. The articles, we had a lot of nice articles, you know. It's a TV show that gives veterans a voice. Over the years, 9.5 years of production, I did over 400 shows. We've supported Traveling Walls. I've interviewed people from the 1936 Olympics to modern day warriors, to flying aces, frogmen who led the way for SEALs. You name it. I'll tell you a little bit about some of that. But first I got to tell you how I got started. And how I got started was this gentleman right here, Jim Archer. Jim was running Lakefront TV at the time. I had just moved down to Florida from Connecticut. I was active in the AMVETS, and I was doing the school program. Jim called the AMVETS and said, "Hey, we want to do a program." So they said, "Who does your programs?" She says, "Well, Bob Peters does our educational programs." I was the second vice at the time. And he says, "Well, send him over." So I go over and I meet Jim, and he says, "We want to do this show called Salute to Veterans." I says, "Oh." So we're going to interview veterans, have them tell their stories, and promote all kinds of events for veterans. I says, "That sounds great." He says, "I'll give you a name of some people that you can interview." I said, "I don't know that many people. I had not been in Florida very long." He says, "I don't interview people, you do." And I said, "What?" I says, "I've never done anything like that before." So anyway, Jim kind of got me started. The one thing I remember Jim telling me, "Listen, you're doing a show called Salute to Veterans. It's not you. You are nothing more than the host. Your guests are the stars. Keep that in mind." And I've tried very hard. I get my own guests. I would interview my own guests. I would check out to make sure that if they said they were a 501c, they were a 501c, legit. And we worked together for 3.5, 4 years with Lakefront TV. Along that period of time, unfortunately, the good Lord called Jim to help him out. And then I was working with this young man, Matt Somers. Matt, he worked for Jim, but after Jim died, it was just Matt. He was doing it all. He and I became good friends. We did several shows together. In fact, I talked to him about 6 months ago. Not even 6 months, maybe 3 months ago. I had not talked to him in 6 years because they had let him go and they brought in a vendor. And Matt says to me, I said, yeah, you remember me? He says, of course I remember you. He says, you were amazing. I always laugh when I tell this. He said, you'd come in and you'd do 4 shows in a day like that. He says, it was easy. So, but this particular show I did was with Project SOS. See the young man in the middle there? That's Brian Anderson. He may look familiar if you saw the movie American Sniper. Brian was in American Sniper. He, when they went to the VA, they was talking about, well, I went to light my cigarette, and my hand was gone. Brian lost his hand and both legs. He's a spokesperson for USA Cares. He also works now with Gary Sinise. And he was one of my guests on my show many years ago. I try to keep in touch with him, but he's big time. I'm not. And he was a terrific motivational speaker. He was in a vehicle, roadside bomb, and he lost both legs and an arm, but you know what? He's a difference maker. So anyway, he's been at my house, by the way. We had for lunch. After that, they let Matt go. They brought in Dr. Anna Marie, her husband Todd, and that's a young fellow, his name was Lance. He was there the last year I was there. But they brought in Dr. Anna Marie, and we worked together for 3.5 years, something like that. 4 years maybe, I'm not sure. But I decided to part ways with Lakefront TV, and I went to see this lovely young lady, who's filming this, by the way, from Wild Zebras Media. Her name is Sue Cameron, and this was taken at Lone Oak Cemetery. We did a show out there. That was a tree stump that somebody carved into an eagle. But Sue and I are partners on Central Florida Salute. And I can't say enough about what a great partner her and Charlie are to help me out and help get the word out to veterans. These are some of the shows I did over the years with different people, whether it be Dr. Anna Marie or Sue or Jim. This was really early Guardians of Freedom. I emceed that event. It was a 3-day event, I believe, 3 or 4. I think it was 3. It was down in Lady Lake at the Carriage Museum. And that was quite the event. Unfortunately, it was very cold. Not too many people showed up. Over the years, I interviewed a lot of great people. That's Alan Hayes. He was Coast Guard. He is the supervisor of elections down here in Florida. Rob Newton. Rob's not a veteran, but he's very supportive of the veterans community. And he's been on the radio since it was invented, I think. But a very nice man. I've gotten to meet at the American Legion, Tommy Jennings, Whaling Jennings' brother. He did a show there to raise money. The 2 gentlemen on either side of me are father and son, and he would drive this car, the MIA POW car. I tried to get Tommy Jennings to take me on the road, but he kind of laughed and said no. But these other shows, this was my dear friend who was over here. He was a chaplain here. His name was Ted Keating. He was my right-hand man in Veterans Affairs. We did a fundraiser here to raise money for that young lady who had cancer. Unfortunately, she's now with the Lord too, but we did a lot of benefits and stuff to help people out. I had a lot of great guests on my show. These are just some of them. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but the Korean veterans, we had General McWaters from Korean Veterans, Chapter 169, which I am also an honorary member. This is my good friend Keith Oliver, who I'm on the radio with, right there, boom, who made me an affiliate member of the Marine Corps Combat Correspondence Association, and that was one of my favorite Marines, Bill Cumba. Over the years, like I said, we did a lot of different shows. We did a lot in the Veterans Park down here with Vietnam veterans. Russ, he was on my show. This is some of the monuments. This is the monument they put in there for the Vietnam veterans. The Huey, which is on a pole there. If you're ever in Leesburg, check it out. These are some of my guests that have been on the show. I can't go on forever, but I've had the sheriffs on there. I've had members of the Distinguished Flying Cross on there. Okay, over the years, so this is a scrapbook here. We could talk for about 4 or 5 hours about everybody in the scrapbook. All the different veterans organizations and people I've met who were child spies in Korea, gentlemen who were on Flying Cross, the Distinguished Flying Cross, people who did everything. You name it. It's just been such an honor to have all these people. I had a flying ace on there, prisoners of war. Did a lot of interviews down at the Veterans Park with a lot of veterans. And anyway, to wrap it all up, there's pictures in here. I can talk forever about some of these folks that I had on the show. But I want to mention two guys when I think about Memorial Day. There's two guys I think of all the time. These two men, one of them I did a lot of work with, who was my partner. We used to do a lot of things for the Korean veterans. Tom Teal, who had recently passed, and Mr. Bill Cumba, and my photographer over there, she knows him very well. He is the toughest little man I ever met, United States Marine Corps. Palu in Okinawa, 3 Purple Hearts. They wanted to give him another one. It said I wasn't injured or nothing. So Bill was a dear friend. I made a lot of friends over the years. And that's kind of why I'm doing this video. But I also had some nice times too. I've gotten to fly in a B-17. I've gotten to fly in a B-29 bomber. I was also on a plane, did a nice show with the Ageless Aviation Dreams Foundation, which gives veterans a ride in a 1940 Stearman. This gentleman here was one of the pilots during World War II. He flew everything, B-29. He even flew the gliders, which nobody wanted to be in a glider. But B-25s, he flew B-17s. And a funny story, when I did the show with him, I asked him, I says, now, Captain, I says, remember now, don't do any barrel rolls. He says, what are you kidding me? I'm 94 years old. I may do a wing over though. The last show I did was with Donnie Cochran, who was a captain in the United States Navy. He's an African American, and he was a head of the Blue Angels. I've had him. And I've had the Tuskegee Airmen. I've had everybody. You name it. My good friend, 10 Days of Hell and Heroes, Gary Cato. You can find him on YouTube. But we're running out of time. This is my committee here. We are now located at the Eagles Airy, 4273 in Oklahoma. And I really want to put a special thanks out to Leesburg High School and the community who all got together and paid for. Kids in Leesburg High School built this beautiful set that we broadcast from. So that pretty much wraps it up. I just wanted to thank a lot of people. I hope that things will progress from here. We'll keep going. I certainly hope we will. And thanks for watching. But as I say when I end all my shows, to all our veterans out there, our active military and their families, I salute you. Until next time.